Back in 2019, a film crew was doing a series of documentaries on strange collections in Canada, and hence the name Crazy Canuck Collections. As you can see here, it says each webisode is about an unusual collection and the person behind it, and they did 10 webisodes, and they wanted to do an episode on my pinball collection. So you can see here that they did an episode on Titanic artifacts, on ladybug figurines, even torture equipment, and then there's me, pinball. So they did this documentary about a year before Pinball Shenanigans YouTube channel was actually born, and at that time I had maybe a couple dozen subscribers. So now that the channel has grown over the years, I thought it would be a good time to replay the video for your viewing entertainment. At times it's a little dodgy and cringe, and you'll get to see me do some bad acting. I'm sure I got some facts and details wrong when I was giving my brief history of pinball. You'll see me stick a quarter into my dollar slot of my machine, which is set to free play. But if you've been watching the channel at all, then you know that these are basically some pretty typical shenanigans. So anyways, this 5-man crew showed up from Toronto or thereabouts with, I believe, 2 vehicles just stuffed full of equipment. They spent 2 days with me filming the whole thing, and lots of setup and lots of fun toys that they utilized in the production. And I think they did a great job. And so I think, without further ado, I present to you Crazy Canuck Collections. I'm Mike Dimas, and this is Pinball Shenanigans.
Well, pinball machines, what do they mean to me? They really pretty much are summed up into one word: fun. I enjoy all aspects of pinball. I enjoy playing them and purchasing them, collecting them. I restore them. I buy them, sell them, trade them. I like to work on them. I also am interested in pinball history. I like to compete. I compete on a provincial level, Canadian level, national level. So I like so many aspects of pinball. I listen to pinball podcasts. I watch pinball tournaments and streams. I even have my own podcast with a friend of mine. And so I'm just really fascinated with all aspects of pinball. And so it's just fun. It's just a fun hobby. I'd say I started collecting maybe about 7 years ago, where my number of machines that I own went from maybe 4 to right now I have 44. So just in the last 7 years, it's kind of went a little haywire, and now I have more machines than I have space for. Pinball really was invented around the 1930s. It was like it's really pretty much a piece of wood with some metal pins in it. You plunge the ball up and it just bounces around, lands in a hole worth whatever amount of points. There's no flippers. That was pretty much invented in 1930, and so you got these metal pins on a board, you got a ball, and therefore you have pinball. And actually in 1940, they were starting to be seen as gambling devices, and you could gamble and win money, and the bar would pay you. They actually became illegal in New York, I think, was the first state to make pinball machines illegal. So the mayor of New York, LaGuardia, he actually made pinball machines illegal and went around with his crew and collected and confiscated all the pinball machines throughout all the bars and wherever they were, laundromats, and literally took sledgehammers to them and smashed them and destroyed them and then dumped them in the lake. So that was the fate of many pinball machines in the 40s. Not until 1976 did a man by the name of Roger Sharp come by, and he actually went to the court system. They had a couple pinball machines in the court room, and he went and played the machines in the court for the jury and said, you know, I'm gonna plunge the ball, make the ball go here, take this shot. And he's known to like have called the shot, and the jury saw that, hey, this is actually a game of skill and not a game of chance. So because of him, pinball was made legal again, and he is basically pinball royalty to this day. Early 1990s was another big boom of pinball. Williams was out making machines. They made 20,000 of the Addams family. That's the most produced machine in history. The pinball industry kind of crashed in 2000. Williams closed down, and there was only one manufacturer left, and that was Stern Pinball. So Stern hung on by a bit of a thread there for a decade, and now we're seeing a modern day resurgence in pinball. And arcades and barcades are popping up everywhere. There's a bunch of different companies now making pinball machines, and that's where you're seeing the modern day resurgence of pinball. Like, there's leagues popping up everywhere, the arcades popping up everywhere. Competitive pinball is at an all-time high. When I first did my first competition in pinball, it was 2007, and I signed up. I was player 3090. Now, today, there are about 70,000 competitive players in the data bank. So just in the span of, maybe 10 years, the competitive scene has grown exponentially from 3,000 players to 70,000 players. So, like I said, I've competed Ontario championships, Canadian pinball championships, and even the World Pinball Championships. So this is the modern day pinball boom. So that's pretty much where we're at today. That's the brief history of pinball.
Hang on. Get in the pyramid again.
Oh, here's glider craft round. Okay, it's almost ready. If I hit the pyramid, then you'll get to see the effect. I just got to make the shot though. Yes. All right. Check out the Stargate pyramid. I got to battle this dude. It's gonna pop open. This guy's coming out. I got to battle him. Try and destroy him. There we go. Oh yeah, check this out. Eye of Ra. There's 3 stages. First stage is I gotta beat the glider craft. Got it, super jackpot, 100 million. Okay, phase 2. Oh my God, phase 2 is over. All right, well, I got through phase 1 of the wizard mode, and it's 500 million points. It's not so bad of a game. One of the most historical and possibly rare machines in my collection is the first game that ever had flippers. It's called Humpty Dumpty, and she's 72 years old and still functions and plays, and I don't know how many are left of those, but I know they made around 6,000 of those, so there may not be a lot of them left though, because that was right in the prime when they were, confiscating and destroying machines. That would have been one of the ones they were confiscating for sure, so. This is the oldest game in my collection. It is a very interesting piece of pinball history. We'll start by showing you that it takes a nickel to play. You get 5 balls for a nickel, unlike today where you get what, 3 balls for a loonie possibly, or $1. So let's stick that in there. And you slide this in. And there we go, we have lights. So this game is historically important because it is actually the first game that was invented and had flippers. The typical flippers are at the bottom of the machine. This one is very different and unique. There's 6 flippers and they're oriented in 3 different locations on the play field. You got them at the bottom, the side, and then on the top. And they're only 2-inch flippers. Most people are used to the bigger flippers at the bottom that are 3-inch. As you can hear, it's got the old chimes. No electronical sounds, no call-outs, no music, just some cool chimes. And you don't have as much control as you do on modern games, but back in 1947, when this came out, this was the most control anyone had ever had. So I should flip that ball, but when this machine was unveiled at the Chicago Pinball Expo of 1947, literally a couple hours later, all flipperless games became obsolete. Once you go from no flippers to flippers, it's just revolutionary for the pinball industry. This game changed everything. This one in particular, there was about, I think, 6,000 or 6,200 of these made. Who knows exactly how many are left in existence. There still could be a fair number, but you can be certain that a lot of these were destroyed. Fortunately, some survived. So now pinball is legal again, and we can continue to play it and not fear the police coming to confiscate our machines. I wouldn't say I necessarily have a favorite game. I just really enjoy, like the newest game that's in my collection. That will almost certainly always get the most attention. Whatever the new game is, I will take it apart, clean it, fix it up, shop it up, do the electronics, the mechanics, and the cosmetics, put it back together again, and then I will play the crap out of it, learn all the rules, have my fun with it, and then either hang on to it for a while or maybe sell it for the next one, and then the next game gets the most attention. So I used to not really know anything about fixing machines, but kind of forced into figuring it out, because once you start building a collection, stuff happens. I've studied and I've learned, and friends have helped me. The internet is a good resource. There's pinball repair help groups, and now I actually am pretty good at fixing electronics and mechanics and pinball machines and solving problems, and I've learned to appreciate the repair and solving problem fixing aspect of pinball machines just as much as playing them. We're off to my buddy Ray's to pick up some parts here. He has a lot of parts. Sometimes I don't have everything I need in stock, so I usually call up on him and see what he's got. It's local, saves me a couple weeks having to wait for shipping, so that's always handy. A lot of the times when we buy a pinball machine, you can find some interesting things in the cabinet of the machine. Like, I'm always hoping to find some hidden book of $100 bills that somebody forgot about, but haven't done that yet. But one time we were picking up a machine. It was in a garage, so it wasn't exactly weatherproof. I guess a squirrel was using it to store his nuts in for the winter. And by the time we got it home and opened it up and really got a good look at it, we must have pulled out like 20 or 40 walnuts out of the machine. So my buddy Ray, he's also a pinball collector. We've got several pinball enthusiasts in London, and he has probably about 15 machines of his own, and every once in a while we get together at his place to play. Every month we go to a different person's house. We have about 7 different hosts, and he's one of the hosts. So All right. Hey, there he is.
How are you?
Very good.
Come in.
Right on. Okay, cool. You got some parts for me.
We'll sort it out later.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
We can just trade back.
Trade some parts. Parts
right.
trade. I like it. Okay.
Good.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
All right. We'll talk to you soon, Ray.
Well, good luck.
All right.
They work for you.
Thank you, sir.
Bye.
See ya. Okay, so I got a bag of parts from Ray. Just a few different things. And we're gonna go to my house and see if we can tweak up and fix a couple things over there. Okay, so we got a few things on the to-do list. I always have a to-do list, having a collection this big, and you know, I'm gonna try and knock off a thing or two. I know that this flipper is acting up, so these flippers are fine, but not getting anything on that flipper there. So we're gonna try and fix that. So we'll plunge the ball down and just take a look and see what we got going on under here. Remove this piece and slide off the glass. Let's get that over here. Okay, so to check under the hood here. Remove the ball, get that out of there, and prop this up. So, this is the flipper right here. So when you press this button, that activates this solenoid, which flips the button. And for some reason, it's not working. So it could be a few things, but the first thing to check is, oh, there it is. See this wire? If you look closely, it's actually come loose. And that's a common thing. There's a lot of vibration. You know, this is happening all the time, and eventually the solder can go bad. So that we can fix. Get some solder. We need wire strippers. Get some nice fresh wire on this and twist that wire a bit. So the trick to soldering is you really want to heat up the space. You don't want to just heat up the solder. You want the wire to get nice and hot. You want the lug of this coil to get nice and hot. And then it makes a good contact. So let's cool that off and tug on this wire. And that wire is on there good. We can actually put this into lamp test. I'm going to show you. The machine has built-in diagnostics. And that one is clearly out. And even this number 1 looks like it's out as well. So let's solve that problem. Obviously changing light bulbs is not rocket science, but it is part of what you have to do. So this is my bulb collection. I often remove all the incandescent bulbs from a machine and put in LED bulbs, and that's part of how I collected all these. So I've got a little bulb tester right here, so I can just pop that in. Oh, that one works perfect. So actually, before I spill that, we're gonna set that down. That would not be fun to have to clean up. All right, and that bulb is good. So let's check on this number 1 bulb. Pop that in. Beautiful. Okay, so let's put this back down. Get rid of these bad bulbs. And now you can see the 4 works and the 1 works, and all our bulbs are good to go. Yeah, there we go. Back in action, so voila. My plunger here is not really working very well, so I want to change the spring on that. So that's what we're gonna do next. So let's get back in here. All right, so here's the plunger mechanism. And in order to access this spring here, which is just old and dead, I'm gonna take off the rubber. That's the shooter tip, which contacts the ball, launches that into orbit. And then we got a clip here that we have to remove. So these pliers should do the trick. So pull this spring back, and then there's a washer there too. And pop that out. There's the C clip. Here's the washer. And here is the spring. And then you can even, and that's your shooter rod, invented in 1930, I don't know, somewhere around there. Okay, so what we're gonna do is, our C clip, stick that back on, and put the shooter tip back on. Just leave that there for good measure. And voila, we've got a new shooter spring. Just like that. And we can even give it a quick little test here, and beautiful. It works. So we started up a pinball league about 6 years ago. It's called the London, Ontario Pinball League. We had 12 people at the first league night, and that was a success. And nowadays, 9 seasons later, we get about 40 to 50 people at every league night. We meet about once a month. We have about 7 different hosts. I'm one of the hosts. All right, everybody. We're gonna get started shortly. Welcome to the IFPA Pinball Point Showdown. Everybody really enjoys it. We've got a mix of, every age. We have lots of, young kid, young, old, male, female, little mix of everybody, from very novice, very beginner pinball players to, we actually have some players that are in the top 100 of best players in the world in our league. So it's quite the range of skill as well. The beginnings of interest in pinball in London kind of happened. I think I put an ad online saying, hey, I'm looking for a couple people that are interested in maybe going out and playing some pinball somewhere, because we knew that there was a pinball machine at a movie theater. And we got maybe 2 people, 3 people, so the 4 of us went to the movie theater and were playing this pinball machine. And that was sort of the early beginnings of the development of the London, Ontario Pinball League. I think just the mechanical nature of the machine. You got the lights, you got the sounds, you got the call outs, you get the art, and it's a big physical, it's just a big giant toy, right? Right now I'm in a match, 4-player group on Star Trek here, and I've already played 2 balls, and they have not been very good. 3 players have about the same score right now. Actually, all 4 of us are pretty close. I got 1 ball left to try and pull out a victory here, so it's gonna have to be a good ball. Just a little bit nervous still, so I gotta shake off the nervous energy and put my crap together on this last ball here and try and get a victory. This is really just me being a big kid playing with a bunch of big toys. The physical nature of the pinball machine and the skill set that you have to learn to develop to become a good player and get the wizard modes and get the high scores, it's really skillful, and you can improve your skill. And when you get better, you can appreciate other good players, and pinball, you can always improve your skills. And I really enjoy just learning more and more about getting to be better at playing, getting better at fixing machines, and just learning about pinball in general, all kinds of aspects.
And third place, $40 goes to Darren.
Not me.
Mark.
Not Derek.
In second place, Darren for $60. Good job, buddy. And in first place, Jeff Teolis, first time ever getting to Hand of the King. Good timing with a 1.6 billion on Game of Thrones. Good job, buddy.
Thank you.
You are the victor.
Thanks, Jeff.
Thanks again, Kyle, for hosting. Appreciate it. We'll see you guys at the next tournament, which is tomorrow. See you guys. Yeah, you too, man. We'll see you at the next one. Later, Rob.
I'm out of here. Where'd Kyle go?